Hello. Thank you for watching. I made a video the other day and I watched it and I thought, oh, this is really good. People are going to like it. It's going to be so popular. I'm going to promote it. And when I tried to promote it, the stupid AI bot is a prude and it was restricted. Apparently there were words that I used that it did not like. So I'm going to try again, and this time instead of making one long video, I'm going to break it down into a series. And maybe then I can figure out what I'm saying that prude bot does not like. So this is my first attempt. This is going to be a series about the human connection. The sacred biblical connection that leads people to have children. Not that that's why they're doing it, but that it accidentally happens. And now that the Supreme Court has made it so that we have to live with accidental conception and risk our lives, when all we ever intended was to have a little bit of fun and see if we were compatible in that manner or not. We have to risk our lives. Well, I don't, because I'm asexual, but those who are still, oh no, I said the word, so I don't know if this is even going to be permissible. What I want to talk about is, I'm going to spell it out for you. The first letter is S, and the last letter is X, and the letter in the middle is E. And that word will get you banned, or at least restricted. So you have to be really careful what you say. And I find it tedious, but I'm up for the creative challenge. And we'll see if the AI bot will let me promote this one, if I like it. So this series, if I could say the word, would just be, can't say it. So I'm going to call it the human connection done right. Maybe I could say conceiving with love. I wonder if saying conceiving with, but the point is not to conceive. The point is to establish compatibility and fall in love and live happily ever after. And then within that context, to be inspired to create a family if you want to, if that's something you want to do, which not everybody should and everybody does. So, this is a creative connection series. And what is the information that I'm going to include was inspired because when I was young and I was looking for the one, the magic man with whom I could experience mutual pleasure and satisfaction. And I was on my search, I was on my quest, I was dating a lot of people and being disappointed a lot, and once in a while being thrilled out of my mind and hoping to goodness in heaven that he felt the same way and that he would want to be with me for the rest of my life, and then being disappointed and going through that. Oh golly, it's almost worse when you find a person that you really love to be with and you like them and you have the same activities, and diet's important. You have the same diet. You like the same kinds of foods and the same kinds of things and the same kinds of movies and TV shows and all the stuff that people do together. And then they're just kind of ho-hum, not ready for a relationship. It's a whole lot easier to date someone temporarily who's kind of doesn't thrill you and let them go than it is to let someone go who thrills you. And when you meet someone who thrills you, it takes away your desire. At least it does me. It takes away my desire to be with anybody else. It's almost like it's kind of like I don't want anybody else touching me or coming near me. Now I've heard some women say they have met a lot of really, really wonderful lovers, and I'm wondering what hole are they fishing in and what kind of bait are they using, because I haven't had that kind of luck. I mean, I've dated a lot of men, but most of them were not what I would describe as the keepers. The keepers are the ones who thrill me, and I think, yes, I could do this every day for the rest of my life, maybe 2 or 3 times a day. And that seems to scare them. They don't think they can keep up with me. I get so turned on and so excited about this relationship. I just want to do it and do it and do it. It's just like I just want to lay around all day and do nothing else. And that's kind of scary because you don't want that part of the relationship to become an addiction. So you got to be careful, and you got to be disciplined, and you have to have a balanced approach. So anyway, when I was on my search looking for the one, the magic man, on my vision quest for the ultimate relationship that I would spend the rest of my life in, I had so many men want to know, what do you like? I would like to say the other questions they ask me, but I'm afraid the AI bot is too prudish and will not let me get away with it, so I'm not going to say. But they wanted me to describe for them some things they could do for me that would thrill me. And I did not like the question because I thought, that would be like, I'm going to tell you what to do and then you do it, and then I need somebody to surprise me. I need somebody to be creative, have their own ideas. I didn't want to be like the puppet master doing that 3-letter word with the puppet. I don't know if that makes sense to y'all. But this series about me answering the question of what I like. And it starts way before we end up in private at home in a reclining position hugging. It starts with just getting to know somebody. And I could tell when a guy liked me when I was dating, because they'd call a lot and they'd want to come by a lot and they'd want to do things with me, and they would want to tell me all about themselves and what they've been up to and what they've been doing and what they think about this or that. And it was like they were trying so hard to impress me, which wasn't that necessary in a lot of cases. I mean, there was this one guy, he was kind of cute and he was in good shape, and I was kind of interested in him, and he was so busy trying to make sure I liked him. And that it was getting kind of boring. He was telling me this and that, and oh man, I just knew all about his ambitions and his accomplishments and everything. And I was getting tired of this because I was like, man, when's he going to get tired of impressing me and get to know me? And so one day I said, would you like to know some things about me? And he furrowed his brow and he thought about it a minute and he said, no. And I went, well, there's no hope for this then, because I don't want to just be this anonymous body in your life that you're using to thrill yourself. I want somebody who's interested in me, who wants to know me, who I can be vulnerable with, who I can share things to. I have things about me that I'm proud of that I would like to tell my best friend about. And why would I want to do that thing that AI is so prudish it won't even let me say the word without restricting my video with someone who's not my best friend? But on the other hand, I feel terribly shallow and bad when I spend a bunch of time getting to know someone well and becoming best friends, and then we do that thing that AI is so concerned about people talking about, that it restricts videos, that we get around to finally doing that and discover, ooh, we don't fit together very well. This doesn't feel good. This kind of hurts, maybe. This kind of leaves me frustrated. There's so many things that can go wrong. The style just may not be compatible. The bodies have to fit together in a way that makes you go, ah, good fit, relaxed, skilled, an enjoyable connection. It doesn't just happen between anybody. Now, two people might be able to put it together enough to become parents, but putting it together in a way that makes your soul celebrate and makes you long to see what kind of a child you could create. That kind of connection is what I'm hoping I can help people accomplish, because I am very fortunate to have experienced that kind of connection a few times in my life. Usually not. Usually my connections are disappointing, and sometimes they are, oh, it's like, oh, I don't ever want to do this again. You know, and I don't want to say so, because I have been told that it's extremely painful for some people to hear it wasn't fantastic. That a lot of people, when they are connecting in that way, they want to hear, that was fantastic. And I don't want to lie to people and tell them it was fantastic if it wasn't, because I think I'm doing a disservice I want to gently, kindly give them encouragement and notice what the good things they are doing so that they can take that and develop it further and become fantastic. It's important that we help people develop their talents instead of saying, oh God, that's awful. I do not ever want to do this again. Get out of here. I don't know why I ever dated you. You don't want to do that. That is hurtful. And that's the kind of thing that'll give people, starts with a P. The first word starts with a P. The second word starts with an A, P-A. But I'm afraid to say it. But it has to do with performance. And it also has to do with the anxiety that comes up about performing. That P-A that arises. Hopefully that AI bot won't be offended if I talk about it in this manner. But it's easy for people to get that if they don't have any encouragement. So I think it's important to encourage people and be kind and gentle and enthusiastic in your encouragement to the extent that you can, while also being truthful and helping them become the best they can be in making that connection joyfully, enthusiastically, skillfully. So this series is going to be about making that connection. And it's going to start with some things you can do before hopping into the reclining on the couch position and moving into the other room that has a bed in it. So I'm trying to say this with weird words that's not going to offend AI and get the video restricted. We'll see if this works. So this is the prelude to the, let me see, what was I going to call it? Doing the sacred connection right. Only I would rather not call it sacred connection. I would rather call it the I word. But some people, if you use the word intimacy, they jump to the conclusion that you're talking about the word which starts with an S and ends in an X and has an E in the middle. They think the I word and the S word are the same thing, but they're not. S is an I activity. But I encompasses conversation and honesty and truthfulness and kindness and gentleness. And it's about an emotional connection, an intellectual connection, a heart connection, and sometimes it includes a physical connection too. So I want to be clear about that this is about all-encompassing connection, not just the physical kind that creates children. Now, we'll see if I can get away with this video. Now, I meant to keep it very short and it's too long. If you like, subscribe if you want to see the whole series.